Hey guys, it's Tepco Stock Repair. Today we're going to be talking about what I feel is the most important maintenance tool. Now there's a lot of tools that come along that save us a whole lot of time in doing work, right? These things are awesome. But the most important maintenance tool is one that you're going to use to help solve problems and issues and try to keep track of your bike and what's going on. There's an hour meter on your bike. The hour meter is good, but go ahead and try to buy a bike that's got an hour meter on it and believe the hours that are on there. I wouldn't trust that for nothing, okay? What you need is a leak down tester, okay? So leak down tester right here. This is the one that I use. You see me using a couple of my videos here, okay? This is a Snap-on version. You can get these used. This is an older one. It works great. You can get them on eBay. Search around for them. Get used ones. You can also buy, a Motion Pro one or similar. And I'll put a link in the description and I'll show you up a picture here as well. But what I like about these is that it's not a 2-dial, it's a single dial with a knob. So what you do is you set your compressor to, whatever poundage you want, somewhere around. This one maxes out at 60, so you put it at 60 pounds. You set the dial, set it 0 on the gauge, and then when you plug it into the bike, it'll give you an accurate reading on this of how many percentage, so you don't have to do any subtraction and stuff with the other meters, okay? The cool thing about this one here is there's a lot of different hoses. This one's all set up and this is a whole unit. This is one whole package. You can kind of lay it on the bike and run your hoses to the spark plug hole. You got to get your bike in a top dead center. So you get your bike top dead center, lock it in, either put it in gear, 6th gear or something like that, step on the brake, hook it into your spark plug hole, pressurize it, and it'll give you a leak down reading. Now, very important guys, pay attention to this. This is different for a 4-stroke than it is for a 2-stroke. If you jam 60 pounds of pressure in your 2-stroke, you're gonna blow your crank seals out. It's a whole different method. Okay, for a 2-stroke one, you're gonna use a different type. All right, like this right here. This is a 2-stroke type setup that I made. It's really simple. You just run your pump in here. Now this one works differently because what you do with a 2-stroke is you put the piston all the way down to the bottom, you plug your intake, plug your exhaust, plug your power valve, and then you pressurize it with up to like 5 pounds, and you see how long the pressure holds in there. So the air pressure goes in to your cylinder, and it holds it there, and that's what you're seeing. With a leak down tester for a 4-stroke, you're jamming 60 pounds in there constantly, and it blows the 60 pounds in there, and you're seeing how much is leaking past your rings. Now, the reason that this is important, a leak down test, is that if you start having problems with your bike, let's say it's not starting right, or it's running rough, or it's having issues like that, you need to know what is going on and where that air is coming out of. If you use something like a simple compression test, a lot of these new modern bikes, they have auto decompression valves on, levers on them, so you're not gonna get a good reading out of this. It'll be really low, where in a 2-stroke, if you kicked it and you got the readings, the same readings that you would out of a modern 4-stroke, it wouldn't start or run. So you might get like 60 PSI out of a new 4-stroke that has an auto decompression lever, which is spec by the book, okay, but it's not what you're looking for. This is not going to tell you, even if that is low. Let's say you had an older 4-stroke that doesn't have a decompression lever, and your compression is low. Where is it low? Why is it low? And that's what you use a leak down tester for. And the leak down tester is going to give you an idea where it's coming from. And the way that you do it, top dead center, lock it in, pressurize it, and you start listening where it's coming from. You take off your oil fill cap, and if you got air coming out of there, it's passing your rings. If you have air coming out of your exhaust, it's passing your exhaust valve. Air coming out of your intake, it's passing your intake valve. So your water, you can take the water cap out of there and see if the antifreeze is bubbling. If it's doing that, you got a blown head gasket. So you got a lot of ways, in this tool right here, you should be doing it when you buy a bike, right? Whenever I buy a used bike, the first thing I do is stick it on this and see where I'm at. All my bikes in here are between 2 and 6%, and that's a fine range right there. So what are you looking for in range wise? You're probably looking at when you start hitting 10, 11, above 10%, you need to start figuring out where that air is going, because the bike is going to start running. It'll still run, but it's not going to run the best it can. So if you get up to like 15 or so, you probably should find out what it is and fix it. Some of the gauges that you see for sale on eBay or Harbor Freight, they have those little green range and yellow and red. Those ranges I wouldn't go by those. They're not accurate. I think 30 pounds it says is okay. 30-pound leak down is you better figure out what the heck's going on there. But yeah, leak down test is the way to go. Get one of these, or the other one I showed you a picture of, links in the description. Get one of those, pressurize your bike, and see what is going on, and you'll be able to figure it out. This bike I'm working on now, check out my videos here. The KTM, it's got a snapped piston around where the ring is. So the air pressure is going right past that ring and blowing right past it. Bike's got 30 hours on it. It's been sitting a long time. So, and that's how I figured it out. All right, so go ahead and check that stuff out. Make sure you do one of these on your bike, and I would do it each year. You know, each season do it, and so you can kind of keep track of what your bike is doing. And also rebuilds. Like this will save you a ton of money. You know, one of the things that people overlook is they do rebuilds way too soon. With a leak down tester, you can put it on there, and if I got 2 pounds of leak down this season, next season I got 3 pounds, but I got 50 more hours on the bike, what am I going to rebuild it for? It's fine. Don't waste your money. This is going to save you a bunch of money. And you can get these for, you know, they're not that expensive. So it's worth every penny. Get them, pressurize them, see where you're at. Give yourself, you know, a range of what percentage you're at and how many hours. Keep track of all that, and you can kind of see how your bike is wearing down. And it gives you a good health check of your engine. They're really priceless when it comes to that. I would definitely purchase one and check them out. One of the keys, the compressor that you're using, make sure your compressor can handle the amount of pressure that you're putting through it. So this with 60 pounds, my compressor can handle about 120 pounds constant, so 60 pounds is no problem. But if you're going to use a little, one of those little pancake compressors, they might not put out that amount of pressure, constant pressure. So if you got something that can only put out, say, 70 pounds constant pressure, or max pressure, you might want to dial it down to about 40 pounds on your gauge. So you want to be able to, the compressor to be able to keep up with it so you can get an accurate reading. If you're testing it on a certain bike, make sure that you use the same gauge every time so you get the same reading every time from the same gauge. But like I said, guys, go ahead and get one of these. Do me a favor, go down in the comments, put down what you think is the most important maintenance tool, the most important tool that you have in your 4-stroke bike, and let's get a conversation going down there. But in the meantime, guys, hit the like button for me, subscribe, it helps me out. Hit the bell for further notifications, guys. Till next time, this is Tepco Cycle Repair.